Hey guys, so I already have my eyebrows filled in and some eyeliner on, so we're going to prime our face. I'm using my NYX Angel Veil primer, and we're just going to rub this between our fingers and just apply it all over our face. We're just going to apply it all over our face. I'm mainly focusing our product like on the back of my cheeks where I have the most discoloration, because that's where I'm going to focus my foundation mostly at. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation in the color Toffee. I am also doing a small review at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. I'm also using it with my beauty blender. You can use a sponge, a brush, or even your fingers. It's basically up to your preference of what you want to use. But I like using a beauty blender, so I'm showing you a really quick demo on how to use a beauty blender. So what you do is you just put it under water, really, and just squeeze, 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 and squeeze, basically saturating the whole sponge in water and letting it expand. I really like using the beauty blender because it really blends out your foundation just seamlessly. I really like this sponge. And then you just dry it off a little bit on a towel, and that's it. So going back to our clip, I'm just going to apply the foundation all over my cheek, basically where I have the most discoloration, which is on my cheeks. And taking my beauty blender, I'm just going to basically do a really fast stippling motion and just blend the foundation in. So this foundation has a medium to full coverage, and as you can see from this side of my cheek that I haven't covered up yet, which has all my discoloration, and to this side, big difference, yeah. So I'm just going to do the same thing to this side of my cheek, just pin the foundation where I have the most discoloration, and then using my beauty blender and just blend it all in. As you can see, I am working section by section, first starting with my cheek, and then the other cheek, and then my forehead, because this foundation does dry really quickly. Done with Storm. So now we're done with our foundation, but as you can see, yeah, I do have dark under eye circles. What can I say? I'm human. So I'm taking my concealer. I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color medium beige. The way I like applying my concealer is basically a half upside down triangle motion, mainly focusing in the center of my face. Since I do have a more ovally face, I like focusing the concealer in the middle of my face to basically give me a more slimmer appearance. And again, taking my beauty blender with the more pointier side, and I'm just gonna blend my concealer in too. This is also another reason why I like the beauty blender, because instead of using so many different tools, I can just use one sponge and then use it for my concealer and my foundation. And as you can see, yeah, there is a very big difference from where I'm not wearing concealer and when I am wearing concealer. You can find the beauty blender at Sephora and Sephora.com. I will leave a direct link down in the description box below. I will also leave a link to where you can find the concealer. We have applied our foundation and our concealer. We need to set our foundation and our concealer. If you don't set your foundation, what will end up happening is your foundation will fade throughout the day. And if you don't set your concealer, what will also end up happening is your concealer will settle into all the fine lines under your eyes. So I'm using my M.A.C mineralized skin finish in the color medium dark and my e.l.f. Kabuki brush. I'm just going to load the brush up with the product and just apply it to my cheeks, my forehead, and my nose. And basically anywhere I just apply my foundation. So now I'm taking my LA Colors powder in the color tan and my e.l.f. blush brush. I'm just going to do the same thing I did with my MAC mineralize skin finish. I'm going to load the product up on a brush and just apply it to my under eyes, setting my concealer. As you can see, I like using powders that have a little tint to it because it also has some more coverage to my problem areas. And now we're done applying our foundation and our concealer. I know it seemed like a lot of steps. That's because it was a lot of steps. Trust me, to get this flawless face is worth it. So I'm just going to apply a little blush because we look a little flat. So now we're done with our whole entire look right here. So if you want to see a more in-depth review of the foundation I use in this video, just stay tuned. Hey guys, so let's get into the more in-depth review of this foundation that I use. So in this video, of course, you saw I used the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. And here it is right here. I have mine in the color Toffee. So this retail for about $6 to $7 at my local Target. So you can find this foundation anywhere with Maybelline. So basically anywhere and everywhere. So why you should get this? So it claims to be matte and poreless, so automatically it intrigued me to try the foundation out. It does keep you matte and it does keep you poreless. This foundation is made for more to normal to oily skin type. I'm gonna say skin tone. So skin type. So if you get oily, basically an area from like right here on your forehead, you have more oily skin type. So this foundation, it will be good for you. Also, if you have more bigger pores, you will have more bigger pores. It's basically right here in this area. It looks like little tiny craters on your face. Those are your pores. You want to like kind of cover them up. This is your buddy right here too. So it does what it says it's going to do. It does keep you matte and it does keep you poreless. Even though it is a matte finish, it is not a really drying, overbearing matte finish. It is more of a natural matte finish, which I absolutely love because I am a teenager and I don't want to look like I have 10 layers of foundation on my face and it looks like it's drying me out. So even though I want to stay matte and poreless, I still want to look natural and flawless at the same time. I can't say enough good things about this foundation. I think you should really try it out. Even though the one bad thing I can say is the color selection, which is not unusual for a drugstore foundation. But other than that, guys, that should be it for this video. So you already know the drill. If you haven't already, make sure you share this video. Leave a comment below, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Until next time, guys. Deuces.